is going on, everybody?
Hello.
What's going on, Blair?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty awesome because we are together and we are here. We, of course,
Yes.
are the Pop Culture Green Room with Kimberly A. Bryant.
And Blair Bryant.
Yep, and so we're here, y'all. We're finally back, of course, after a long hiatus. And I'm excited to be here because we are not alone. Is that correct?
Yes, exactly. Oh, I'm so excited about this.
Yes, we've got Kat and Elle from the Good Edit podcast. Y'all, a time will be had. I promise you that. We're going to get into these hot topics that are going on right now. And of course,
Yes.
First of all, it starts off with Taylor Swift's wedding. We're not going to exactly get into her wedding, but we're going to get into the backlash of what's going on after her wedding because apparently businesses are not happy with her shutting them down for, I guess, for her wedding purposes. So we're going to get into that. And then also, Luke Wilson, at 54 years old, has welcomed a baby girl with his girlfriend that is 24 years old. And we're going to get into the age gap of it all. And Ciara Miller, who is returning to Summer House for season 11. I didn't see that coming. Or did you see that coming?
I kind of thought, I mean, why not? Like, why not take advantage, this one, especially since Weston Amanda won't be back,
Which that makes a lot of sense. I didn't even think about it that way because I thought that she was going to not come back and pursue other things. So with that said, I am going to go ahead and bring on Elle and Kat on stage. Let's go. All right. Hello, ladies.
Hey.
Oh my gosh. Thank y'all so much for joining us. And we are so excited and ready for this Kiki session. And talk about it all. Just give our hot takes. And look, if it's something that you don't really care about that much, you can just tell us, I don't really care about that much. You can tell us why you don't care about it if you want. Just go ahead.
So I'm assuming that we're starting with Taylor Swift then.
Right.
Tracking.
Dun, 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 dun. There we go. Taylor Swift.
We don't care.
That is what we're going to start off with. So of course,
put that together.
Of course, we all know that Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce finally tied the knot at Madison Square Garden. They supposedly transformed the whole place into something that looked like a beautiful wedding venue. So we heard. Of course, no one's seen any pictures, nothing, because they've kept it on the down low. Because apparently, rumor has that I think they're making a movie out of all of it, which wouldn't surprise me at all by the capitalization. So that's another story. But the main story that we're going to get into that Kat had brought to my attention was that there is a lot of backlash because businesses had to shut down. So that means that they weren't functioning, they weren't working, they weren't making any money. So you want to get into it a little bit, Kat?
Yeah, definitely. So even though Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce paid $160,000 and it went toward the security and securing the whole premises, they didn't actually pay everybody that was affected. So O'Brien's bar owner is speaking out, and he's been speaking out for a week about how he lost business due to the wedding because they had to close that street and nobody compensated him.
And you know what? That shocked me because I didn't know that. I didn't know people were. I assumed that since she's so generous that she would have been compensating everybody.
I thought she would have done the same thing too, and then found out that wasn't the case.
Yeah, because we heard she was donating money to all these charities in New York, but you would think that maybe her PR person or somebody would have thought, well, our business is going to be affected by this and just pay them.
I have so much to say and so not so much to say. You host a wedding in Madison Square Garden. Okay. You shut down all of New York pretty much so that people can watch you have this produced Camelot version of a wedding, because that's what you're trying to bring back. You're trying to be the royal family of the United States. And you are sitting on billions. You're literally making money off of interest with every step you take by the time you say I do. And you can't kick back something for businesses, the common working man who is just trying to make a living. You can't kick back money to him on a day where he probably lost God knows how much. Like, honestly, it is the height of entitlement and rudeness and further evidence as to why I don't care about her wedding.
And
I
I totally understand. Yeah, I totally get that because I was actually surprised because I thought her being so generous, typically, normally, I assumed, I even had a discussion with Kat about this earlier this morning. I
Mhm.
really thought that she was paying these businesses, like compensating them for the business loss that day.
I mean,
Yeah, she didn't
it's
do
the
any
right
of
thing to
that.
do.
Right. I
Right.
agree.
I mean, why did none of my business? Let me just stay out of it. Everybody wants to feel like a princess on their wedding day, and I get it, and it's a big deal, and it's a big thing. And she's a beautiful woman, and I'm sure she slayed and did all the things. But why did we need to rent out Madison Square Garden?
That's what I was thinking too. Like of all
Yeah.
the places and venues you can have, and like if for something like, because you would think that as someone as public as she is, you want something private, intimate for yourself. And because that's what, like a lot of times with celebrities, a lot of times, most times, you don't hear about celebrity weddings like the way you used to, or see
Yeah.
photographs or videos like you used to, because they kind of want that private moment for themselves. But you know, like someone like her who loves the optics and who loves attention, I can't. I mean, she's you know, no doubt talented, but you know, I mean, not really my necessarily taste in music, but and I respect her level of like, you know, business, you know, acumen, but at the same time too, like it's kind of shows a selfishness that I see, like a level of selfishness there,
Mhm.
and that like again, like it goes back to optics too. That you know, oh, I did this. It's kind of like a shiny object thing. I did the $26 million and Travis doing it, but then here are the people who like right there, you know, right from Madison Square Garden, who are the most impacted. They're the ones, you know, being like, you know, left behind, and especially when the businesses like are suffering right now in this economy, especially with
Yes.
summer temperatures being as at record highs right now.
Did I hear you say she spent $26 million on this wedding?
And not a wedding, but for donations, kind of like the optics
Oh.
of like, you know,
Donations?
Yeah, she donated
she
26
and Travis.
million. Yeah.
That's great. I mean, you know, listen, I don't know a single song by Taylor Swift. I don't check for her. I've never understood her fandom at all, and how she just literally is honestly kind of on Beyonce's level, if you will, in terms of fandemonium. What I do know about her is that she is very generous and she advocates for social causes. I love how she's advocated for the music industry and women in music. Like, these are things to me that are layered and interesting and textured. But I have to wonder, even with my own wedding, as humble as it was it for me? Was it for love? Was it for optics? Was it for a combination of all three? You know, you know,
Yeah.
when sometimes the sexiest weddings is in like a little white dress like what Kat has on and running to the courthouse, Sarah Jessica Parker style. Literally, that's so super sexy and super sweet and super cool. And those last longer, believe it or not, than a lot of times these weddings that are grand and large and in charge.
And speaking of lasting longer, I also heard that they had a 40-page prenup. Did you guys hear about that?
No, I did not.
So it's apparently
I didn't believe it.
pages.
That's great.
I know, that's a lot. And I heard that the vows took over an hour. And I don't know if that's true or not either, that they each took 40 minutes on the vows.
Oh, dear
I
God.
think it was 20 minutes.
There.
Yeah, maybe it was. Okay, I heard it was 40 minutes each. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not mad at the 40-page prenup. They have a lot. She has a lot to protect. That tracks for me.
definitely.
Smart girl for doing it, and he should be a smart man to sign it. And by the way, you should sign his too. But who wants to listen to vows for 20 minutes? Get that shit done, over it. Let's go. Let's get to the party.
Why are you talking about yourselves that much?
Yeah, it's I mean, even mine were too long. And they were like
interesting
3 to 5 minutes, I think. 3 minutes, maybe.
That's not bad, Al. That's not bad at all.
No, not at all.
Well, I think you also have to be very cognizant of your audience too. Like, you know, people come, you know, most people don't like weddings. Like, a lot of people don't like weddings, right? It's the sitting and the performative enough of it all and all, you know, so get them in there and get them out of there. But also, like, take time and honor your connection in your connection, Love Island. Take time to honor your nuptials and all the things. But like, at that point, it's almost a performance to me. But let me get off of the Taylor train. Lovely for her. Glad she's married. Smart girl. 40-page prenup. Smart girl. But you need to kick back money to O'Brien and kick back
Yeah.
double
Yeah.
time.
I
For
think
every day he complains, it should be another like $100,000 or something like that.
because he said that he
I
tried to
agree.
call her people, and he said he was reaching out to them with no avail. He couldn't get a hold of anybody.
That's rude.
And
Wow.
I think it's such a small thing that they should, at least her people should think about this and just donate money anyway. It's not too late.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm
No,
just
it's
really
not at all.
honestly, yeah, I didn't expect that. I did
Wow.
not know, but I guess they can go on now to live there happily ever after and start their family and have their babies. And speaking of babies, Luke Wilson at 54 years old welcomed his first baby with his 24-year-old girlfriend. And I have so many thoughts about that because, of course, her frontal lobe is not fully there intact yet, or whatever you call it. And what is it? Blair and I were talking about that this morning. Blair, you had a great take on that.
Yeah, so it's like my thing about it is kind of like that, made me think about like the kind of the Me Too movement of it all and how it brought up so many different conversations about, not only like, sexual harassment, which isn't the case here, but grooming and, and kind of like, where people are kind of starting to see like, age gaps, maybe viewing them a little bit more inappropriate than they used to, or even more conversations around them, if that makes sense. And it made me think too, because I was looking at an article about this, so about Luke Wilson's girlfriend, Kendall Yates, and it says too from People magazine that they've been together for a few years. I'm like, a few years? She's only 24, and I'm like, how old was she when they got together? And that's the kind of like made me think that it's like, I mean, I don't know, I just don't feel good about it. But at the same time, I'm kind of like, like the way it just kind of slid under the radar because they brought the baby to his premiere, and that's kind of like for his Netflix show. So that's the side they tries to kind of slide on the radar, but I'm kind of like, are you serious? I mean, you do you, but a 30-year age gap it's kind of wild.
That's a lot. That's almost a parent.
Yeah, that's
to the child,
right. It is a parent to the child. That's what blows my mind. And for me, it's like I feel like it would be different if, say, for instance, if it was like a 40-year-old female and a man like in his 60s. I guess because it's like that lived experience and that development and that growth stuff. I feel like something like that's a bit different. But at that young age, for me, it's all about that frontal lobe cortex.
Right, exactly.
No, I could see that. And when I was 24, I was definitely not looking at 60-something-year-old men. But I can't help but wonder if he wasn't Luke Wilson, would he be in this relationship? Just had to say it.
I don't know. When I was 24, I looked at older men.
I'm
not mad. At 25, I'm grown. I remember being 25 and having the most interesting dates with people that were my senior, maybe no one in their 50s, but let's say closer to their 40s. And I felt more seen and heard, and I could keep up with conversation and experiences and things like that. So my thing is, the age gap was like, whoa. But at the same time, I mean, she's 24, she's a grown adult, it's a private matter between them. If she rocks with him and he rocks with her, so be it. But I could see how it is definitely a backlash, especially for women who are in my age group and they're trying to find somebody in that age range. And you have to compete with 24-year-olds who have all the things and they can get all the things and more. And you're still trying to find your person. That is where I think the tension comes, and as it relates to women. And yet a 54-year-old woman would get so ridiculed and bastardized, if you will, for dating a man who was 24. But I don't know. Cher's doing it, and I mean, she's honestly, this is something I don't really care about. I mean, if it works for her, and as long as she wasn't groomed or anything like that, but at the same time, I do understand women in my age group are looking at that like, well, damn, I still look good, and I got to compete with this. It's a lot.
It's like I've noticed that too. Back whenever I was attempting to date, and and when I was I'm gonna be honest. I tend to be more interested in younger men. That's just how I roll. But I mean, not like terribly young, but that's what I was looking at. Like, dating profiles of men who are like my age or older. Like all women are like half of them probably said 18 starting age, and like probably no one any older than 28. So it's kind of like, is this what we're really competing with? I'm like, is this what you really want?
I mean, but what did they do in the days of old? It was kind of
Yes.
common for young girls to be married off to older men for security.
True.
Older men sought them out to have kids because they were fertile and all of the things. But honestly, I really empathize with women in my age range who are very close to Luke Wilson's age range, and how disconcerting this must feel when you're looking at these 20 somethings and you feel like you already are in the stage of feeling invisible. Not me, but many of us are in that stage of feeling well, no, I'm starting to feel that though. I actually am starting to feel that. And I can't imagine what it feels like to be this age and feeling invisible and single and trying to find your person that you want to share life with. And you're competing against a pool of 24-year-old women who haven't even begun life. And I think that that's where probably the critique probably comes in.
Oh,
I definitely do think a lot of that's where it comes from. For me personally, it just kind of like for me, it weirds me out. I think it weirds me out because the fact that when I think about it, it's because the fact that I would have to compete against someone so much younger than me. And it's kind of like, look at me, 45 years old. It's like my options are, guys that are older. They see that the guys who are older are going for girls much younger. And it's like, what about me?
But to Kat's point about the grooming part, I think you make a really super good point, because, one of the criticisms that men in that age bracket have about dating older women is that older women, once you get 30, they're hardened, they're set in their ways, they're demanding, they're not fun, flirty, and fabulous. And so when you have someone in her age group, you can kind of mold them a little bit. They're not as tainted, and you can kind of mold them according to the way you want to. He can kind of shape her into the woman that he aspires to be with, because she's young enough to be moldable and all of those things. And over and beyond the beauty part, I think that is sometimes the draw for older men seeking younger women, which is not fair.
That I do agree with.
I thought initially it was about the looks. I've always wondered why men seek younger women, because as a woman, I wouldn't want a younger man. I would definitely want to go older, and I've always done that. I've never dated a guy that was younger than me, so I just don't see the appeal,
I remember dating this guy before I married my husband, and she was late in his 50s. Yeah, he was late in his 50s, and I think there was maybe a 15-year age difference. And I remember him saying that he would always date younger women, and I'm like, why? And it had a lot to do with what I just said. And I'm looking at this guy and I'm like, dude, you barely have a hip. Your arm and you barely have an arm because your rotator cuff is having issues. Like, legit. Like, who's gonna want that?
Yeah.
You're attractive now because you live in a high rise off of Wilshire, and that's cute to a 20-year-old because they think they can get all the things. But like, once that hip starts like cracking up and then it transfers to the other hip, you think that they're going to want to hang out with you? No, they're going to go on to the next.
Right.
Unless you're an Erica Jane and a Tom Girardi. She really loved that man. But yeah, I mean, most times.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's a good example. Yeah, Erica Girardi, she really did love her sometimes.
Yeah, she did.
She seemed like she did love him a lot.
Yeah. It was more than an arrangement. There was definitely affection there, and she could keep up with him, Yeah. And he did kind of mold her a little bit and taught her to be smart and vigilant and how to have boundaries and all that. He taught her so many things. I mean, she references that in her book. So in some cases that really does work. But again, I say it does put people in our age range and your age range too, like we're all in the same age range, like at a disadvantage because that pool does get smaller.
Right. That is
definitely. I mean, I did find interesting there. It's like I said, I've dated like a handful of younger guys, but I think for them too, I think it's like they love the excitement of someone with life experience. And the fact that they were like, hell yeah, look like a pool, so there was a lot of that there, and it was actually good for like it boosted my self-esteem for sure, and because I mean it's like I didn't think I would never guess that I would have been that successful at it, but I had a lot more luck with younger guys, and then it's like I found out that they were like I found the guys at my age and older were like more of a head case, or that they were single for a reason, and whereas with them it's kind of like there's in a funny way, almost like the same thing with like, I guess it goes hand in hand when I think about it, because it's kind of like they're also young enough to where you can mold them to be better and do better. And so I thought that was interesting too. Not that I was trying to, it just kind of happened like, I guess by like, each other.
I mean, Kris Jenner's coming in with Mr. Gamble with a 25-year-old age difference, and Cher's rocking age gap of 40. So it's like, So I think the jury has spoken. Do what you
want. And it's okay. And I am wrong, and I accept it. I have lost my clothes.
and it was weird too.
I know women my age who have 30-year-old boyfriends, because the pool on their side is like kind of closing. So they're going back. They're, dating younger because it's hard to date in the age range. So to each its own, I guess.
Each their own, right?
Yeah.
Do whatever makes you happy.
Clearly. Yeah.
I guess that's true. Yeah. I guess
go share.
Yeah, I guess it comes down to like maturity and where people are at, and if they're on the same page and stuff. And speaking of being on the same page and relationships and dating, we all saw poor Ciara Miller fall apart with the whole dating scandal, cheating scandal, whatever you call it, from Summer House. But speaking of her, she is returning to Summer House for season 11, which I didn't think she was going to. And so I'm shocked. I don't know how y'all feel, but
I heard she was going to be a friend of and pop in and out. So to see her leave After Sun and leave Fiji, I think she's going to have a bigger role than I initially thought.
I think her coming back makes sense because the cast is very young in their journey on Summer House. And so you need somebody almost that has like the Lindsay power that Lindsay's bringing to In the City. You need an anchor there who's going to really not only just drive story, but she also has her own brand of controversy that the after effects of that, the after sun of that, if you will, that I think will definitely be a part of the storyline. Initially, I had really advocated for her not to be on the show only because she's on a high right now, and that edit can like shift so quickly. Then now she's gone, and it's starting to shift, by the way, and she's gone from being the fan favorite and all of the empathy and all of the things, and now it's shifting where people are thinking, well, now she's a victim. She's getting too many things. And so I didn't want her being very protective in a very parasocial way. I didn't want her to go from being on the top to now going back on Summer House and they adulterating that experience and giving her a bad edit.
And that's possible because she might not have the best edit this season.
Yeah, but you know what? Get it all, Ciara. Get it all.
And get that bag.
Money.
You know, it'd be the ultimate revenge. Her and Kyle Cook dating.
I
need that to happen. For like just 2 minutes.
I still need a verse.
Like for 5 minutes. Get in there, take a picture, and be.
Send it to Amanda.
Send it to Amanda.
I could see that. I could actually see that like probably about like a year and a half, 2 years from now. I wouldn't be surprised. You never know, y'all. Stranger things have happened.
Haven't you always kind of wondered if Kyle was attracted to her a little bit?
Yeah, because the way he would get so defensive and protective over her and emotional as well. I've always kind of wondered.
He is.
You know, I'm kind of thinking
of her. I've wondered that too, Kim. Like, is this protection brother and sister vibes? Or is this, I see something in her and I admire her as a woman vibes?
I think that part.
Right? Because he had Amanda before and she's not that adult, so to say.
Yeah, I think he's looking at her and like, you're not Amanda. You're so
Right?
much more elevated.
Yeah.
You're so much more fun to look at, and you're smart.
It kind of makes me wonder if like him, like, because he's been gallivanting with all like various different women, but get your life, and I'm kind of loving this for him. But like him with Ava Dash recently, maybe that's him dipping his toe into the black pond.
That's what I think. Yeah.
That's what I think it could be.
The Ava Dash of it all, I'm like, oh, you got you a Sierra doppelganger.
Right,
exactly.
He sure did. He sure did. That's
And I'm here
funny.
for it. I don't care. I don't care about the age gap. I
Yeah.
don't care.
And that's what it's funny you say that, Elle, because I actually gave that an excuse. I gave that potential relationship excuse because the fact that I've gotten to know both of them on camera. And I was like, you know what? I was like, typically I complain about the age gap, but I was like, however, so I'll confess, I was all about that. I was hoping something would come out of that, but it would be interesting if he and Ciara though.
Oh, I would love that.
Me too.
Let's go. Yes, I would
No,
love.
I'd be
that.
all for it.
Wait. And imagine if he changes. He's like not cheating anymore. He's so committed. He stays home. That would be the ultimate revenge.
Really?
Oh,
He's a
exactly.
homebody now.
Yeah, Kyle's cheating psychology, I think, is so layered. I think Kyle married Amanda and was still very immature. And I'm wondering if what we saw in their relationship over the last few years and him staying out late and doing the DJing and being inappropriate with women was because look what he had to come home to. Like, I mean, I don't, I'm going to say something really controversial. There's a relationship with two people who decided to get married. And that also means you don't get to wear the pretty dress and do all the things and rent out Madison Square Garden high-tailer. It means that you also are invested in creating conditions that make your relationship work for the long haul. And if you're doing that, now you're building protective factors in your relationship where cheating is never the option. But in reverse, you can also build conditions in that marriage that can make people feel the partner feel isolated and unseen and eviscerated and all of the things. And if that keeps happening and keeps happening, I think the natural predilection human wise is just to go and find comfort elsewhere. You might not be a cheater at heart. You just might be hungry for affection. Isolation is an excuse. No, it's no excuse. But I'm thinking that Kyle had multiple conditions in that marriage that may have inspired him to do all of the wrong things. And I think we've never heard from Amanda's mouth. What did you do?
Right.
Makes sense.
Right. She's
What didn't
never
you do?
been taking accountability for anything in that relationship.
No.
Not
No,
even
at all.
the apartment together and being a slob. Not even that. Yeah, her not taking accountability is such a red flag to me.
She really doesn't. Yeah, and it's like what bothered me even recently on In the City. She had all this supposedly had all this sympathy or whatever, or empathy for everybody else and these people. Her castmates, feeling all bad about her behavior and her actions. But why couldn't you have any of that for Ciara? That told me that she just didn't care.
Wait,
about it.
walk that back. Wait, what happened?
So there was this, on In the City, there was a segment on the episode, well, I think it was the most recent episode, where she was kind of getting backlash in a way from the other cast members, and they were just kind of opening up her eyes to her behavior and her actions towards them, and she all of a sudden felt like empathetic and was like, apologetic to them and for her behavior and trying to say, I guess she would do better. But it's like she gave like Ciara like none of that energy.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, because to render Ciara an apology in her brain means that I'm elevating her even more than she already is, and then it reinforces the fact that I'm insecure and basically basic. And yeah, so to not give that apology kind of in a very perverse way reinforces her fake sense of security and confidence that she's trying to project. I don't even know if I said that right, but yeah, it's
so true. Did her parents tell her she was perfect so many times that she really believes she's perfect and makes no mistakes? We know she's spoiled.
Mm-hmm.
It's obvious that she doesn't think she did anything wrong. She didn't apologize.
I think she knows she did something wrong, Kat, and I think she just doesn't care. That's what I
Wow.
think.
That's what I think.
And I
Yeah.
feel
Oh, yeah.
like her parents need to talk to Daddy Benjamin, Sincere's dad from Love Island, on how to course correct your
Yeah.
child on TV, because he did that.
Right. Oh yeah. Oh, he handled business. He
Yeah.
sure did. Oh, he set Sincere straight. But anyway, y'all, I hate to wrap it up, but we gotta get going. So tell everybody where we
Oh,
can.
that's it?
Yeah, unfortunately, Blair has got an appointment like a few minutes.
Oh.
Yeah,
for an
I'll
hour.
keep so we'll
Oh,
schedule it.
yeah, so yeah, we're gonna like keep like 30 minutes today. So
Kim's staying with us anyway, I think, right?
Yes.
yeah, I'm gonna stick around
Yes.
for y'all.
Go there. You get your nails.
All right, it's good to see y'all. We can edit this part out.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
don't. Actually, this is so cute.
It is.
There we go. All right. But yeah, so where can everybody find y'all?
So we are the Good Edit Unfiltered podcast with Elle and Kat, and we're available anywhere you listen to your podcasts. We also are on Instagram at TGE_the Good Edit. And generally you can find us at thegoodeditunfiltered.com.
Sweet. Oh, well, thank y'all so much.
Wonderful.
Thank y'all for joining us. And we
Thank
will,
you.
of course, be back
Thank
soon in
you.
the Pop Culture Green Room. So y'all take care, everybody.
This was
for
so
having
fun.
us.
Thank you so much. You guys are great. Bye.
Yeah.